My name is Anthony Moreau. I'm the CEO of American Eagle Gold. We have a great copper porphyry gold project. We're about to start drilling in June. Ticker is AE on the TSX venture.
Anthony, good to see you, man. Been a while since we spoke, but you had, I think you had Charlie Gregg come on and do a sort of technical session with us back in April. Good session. We like what we heard there. And also, I think, I just wanted to tip my hat to you guys. I think it's quite a good endorsement of the fact that when juniors have got something which isn't working, changing tack is sometimes a good thing, because this seems to be working out for you.
So far, so good. We had a great drill program last year. One of the biggest, best diversified mining companies in the world just invested in us, and more importantly, invested in our project. It gives us a stamp of approval. We're fully funded. We have no overhang from our recent investment from Teck. They're going to hold on to their shares. We got blue skies ahead and a lot of catalysts.
A lot of catalysts. Well, let's talk about the first thing. Now, you talk about the money. Money's an important bit for the phase 2 drilling, which we discussed last time you came on the show. So tell us how much money and a little bit more about why Teck came on board.
Well, we have just over $4.5 million of that. $3 million is a flow through. So $3 million of that is 100% going to go on the ground, most of it this year. Why did Teck like our project? Look, I'm not going to say they liked them because I'm super handsome. They loved it because they love our property. It's an amazing property, one of the best jurisdictions in the world to be looking for copper and gold. And what they like is we have opportunity to have really high grade, which we hit last year. But Matt, most importantly, their scale and their size. And that's what the big boys are looking for.
Right. So, okay, in which case, let's get on to the drilling bit, because I think that's important. Okay. A little bit of background for people who perhaps haven't come up this story before. You inherited about 18,000 meters of historical drilling. You've reinterpreted that. It was predominantly shorter, 300 meter type depth. You've done a little bit of drilling in 2022, and that's going to inform your phase 2 drilling. So what are you going to be doing in phase 2?
Yeah, just to correct you a little bit, Matt, apologies. The average depth of historical drilling of the 20,000 meters almost that were drilled is 175 meters. If you look at Red Crest, Escobal, Saddle, where's that main porphyry start? It's about 600 meters, and the deepest drill hole on our property is one hole that hit 425 meter depth. So no one even came close to where these porphyries typically start. And obviously no one was looking for that the last time they had a major drilling in the 90s, because copper was 60 cents a pound and gold was, $400 an ounce. So we analyzed all the data sets. We're ready to drill. And this year we're doing around 7,000 meters. We had a great program last year, but we're going to do some big step outs to increase the scale and the size of the mineralization, but also vector into that high grade.
Okay, so let's be. I think we were saying the same thing, but with the deeper drilling that you've been doing, I mean, can you just remind us some of the copper and gold grades that you're seeing? Not the copper equivalent, but the copper and gold grades, and what you think that could allow you to do with regards to either open pit or underground?
Yeah, so our south zone, we call it the copper-gold zone. It's predominantly 70% gold, 30% copper. That's where a starter pit would be. There's opportunity to be well over 1 million ounces of gold there. That first drill hole that we had, we gave in copper equivalent ounces about the copper equivalent percentage of 1.05 over 135 meters. But if you just look at the gold, it was well over 1 gram per ton from surface over 135 meters, plus 0.2% copper. That's a heck of a hole. It was 100 meters away from the closest hole. We're going to be doing step outs in that area. So if you're looking for some catalysts on the gold side, we're going to start a program right in that area to expand that south gold zone. And if you look at the copper, which is the north zone, the copper and the grades are a little bit lower where the south gold zone is, but a lot more robust, a lot bigger scale. Teck, Freeport companies, they look for scale and size. And each of our drill holes went around 900 meters and hit an average around 0.35% copper equivalent. If you look at copper to gold, it's about 80% copper, 20% gold in the north, 70% gold, 30% copper in the south.
Right. Okay. So I suppose most companies at this point, and it is early days, right? You kind of got a tiger by the tail here. You got to work out what you've got, but you've already got a lot of historic data, which informs where you're going to drill next, which almost guarantees success with each drill hole. It's a question of hunting this porphyry, trying to track it down. So do you mind just slowing down a bit and just give me a sense of how you get after this porphyry, because that's going to be the golden goose to you if you hit it, right?
Right. So you leave that up to the geologist, but they interpret the geochem, the geophysics that they have. We just flew some aeromag, and based on the drilling that we have, we see where we intercepted high grade bornite, high grade copper and gold. to try to figure out the direction of where it could be going. So that's why they're actually stepping west about 100 meters, and they're drilling east on an incline around 71 meters, hoping to intersect, at least see the orientation of where those veins are. Now, we have a plan right now, Matt, but, based on some drilling, we could greatly, change our plan based on what we see. What we're looking at right now that's really interesting, you invest in this industry because you're looking for that $1 billion drill hole. You're looking for the company that hits 5, 10, 20x. If you look at our presentation, southeast of where we drilled last year is the exact same anomaly south of the copper intrusive. We drilled west last year of the copper intrusive. If you look south of the copper intrusive, that's a whole new zone nobody has ever drilled. So we're going to drill that. It's about 1,000-meter step out. And if we hit there, it's off the races, because then we have a world-class discovery.
Okay, well, look, you've got the money. You're going 6,000-meter drill program, and you've got a plan for how you get at it. So, good luck with that, and stay in touch and let us know how you get on. Let me ask a question about having Teck on board. Right, they're after the big stuff. Now, exploration companies are, traditionally have to be a little bit agile and nimble just to kind of, stay in the game, quite frankly, and they report a different way from companies who are going after the good stuff. It's what they're incentivized to do. Has Teck given you any guidance, or has it got any expectations of you about how you allocate your capital and how you report on the data?
Well, we did a charity flow-through deal with them, which, first of all, doing a deal with a company like Teck, it's amazing, because you got all these investors out there with a bunch of other CEOs doing the same thing I do. And nobody really knows up from down. There's a lot of white noise, hard to identify what good projects are, especially with most investors don't know geology. And all of a sudden, you don't just have a letter writer or an analyst saying buy that, and who may have ulterior motives for recommending it. You have Teck, and that's their job to find next deposits. They're not a charity, so they gave us $3 billion because they believe it. In terms of making sure that we spend money, there's no better way to steward the money you give than to give it in flow through, because we have 2 years to spend it. In terms of utilizing their resources, we are perfectly aligned in terms of what we're looking for, which is also aligned with shareholders trying to find something big. So they give us some ideas of where they think that we can drill. But quite frankly, Matt, if I had to hire someone to help me run the program, it probably would be Charlie Gregg, who's already on our team, and Neil Prowse, and they're part of the GT Gold team. Charlie helped find GT Gold, and they made the saddle discovery right next door that was sold for about $400 million to Newmont. So ore bodies hang with big ore bodies, but you also want the geologist that made the biggest discovery most recently right next door. We have that with Charlie Gregg. So quite frankly, I think Teck's happy that Charlie and Neil are running our program.
I'll say thanks for the catch up. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Matt.